Hey, how's it going? Sunday, fun day, rant and chill. Just want to talk about some stuff here that's on my mind. How you guys doing? How is this Sunday doing for you? Treating you, I should say. You know, one thing that's on my mind is people that look up to YouTubers, especially. This could be in general. People who look up to like personalities for as a role model, whatever. I'm hoping you guys don't do that. I mean, like, why? You know, especially YouTubers. Can you imagine the kids that look up to YouTubers as some sort of a role model? Horrible, right? But people do. Let me just say now that there's no reason why. I don't see any reason why anyone should be looking up to any particular YouTuber. I don't care who they are, what they claim to be. If you stay on YouTube, you're on YouTube long enough to know, you realize that people are liars and snakes, wolves in sheep clothing. Sometimes just flat out wolves. You know, the kids should not be looking up to Logan Paul and all that for as a role model. Am I wrong there? I mean, let's look at this. Is there a problem with young kids or adolescents looking up to YouTubers and other influencers as role models, like Logan Paul's, whatever girls are, you know, milking their assets for money? You know, for attention and all that. Are these positive role models? You know, what about someone like, oh my God, you got so many freaking people. You got people in the Minecraft community that groom, you know, that have children flock to them and they take advantage of that. And you see that sort of behavior, not just in the Minecraft community, but with Roblox. You also see that in politics. You see that in creepypasta. You see that and Brett, wherever there's a little community, you see that, okay? And my question is, you have a problem with it? Let me know about it, because I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Now I'm gonna clip that part out and put that on the YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is where it's at, man. Yeah, I saw that spiffy Brit, whatever his name is. YouTube Shorts. So if you see me holding my phone and recording part of it, that's that bit. I'm the role model. You know how you know I'm not no role model? It's not even 10 o'clock here, and it's time for a beer. It's a Sunday. This is my communion right here. That's bad. That's bad. Boogie 1488 is a perfect role model. Yep. Okay. There's a few things I want to talk about here. First off, I mean, where to begin? I hit the list. You know, sometimes I write a title. I'm like, okay, I remember. Oh yeah, HR 127. Horrible. Oh my Lord. If the people who voted for Biden, if they bought a gun and they bought ammunition, they just need to sell that. They just need to give it up. They must not like owning a gun. They must imagine the sort of shame that a Biden voter must have experienced when they bought that gun for self-defense. At the same time, they voted for Biden, who's advocating for very strict measures on gun control, gun regulation. And the Second Amendment, it makes it very clear that the government shall not infringe. It's very plainly written. If you read it literally, shall not infringe. Well, the infringing has been going on for a while. But think of the safety. Fuck your safety. Fuck your safety. Yeah, I mean that too. People sacrifice freedom for safety. You don't deserve freedom at that point. You want mommy and daddy, you want the government to protect you because you don't want freedom. You can't handle freedom. You know, sometimes with freedom, there are consequences. Sometimes when there's freedom, some people are free to do whatever they want, do what they please, but there's a consequence to that. But in the chaos, there's some harm, some deaths. Fuck your safety. I would rather be in a society where you're able to protect your own, defend your own, than be in a society where we depend on the state to protect us. Because when the state is the one that has all of the guns, they don't fear us. They don't fear us. You know why Congress has the National Guard around them? Is it a show? Some people think it's a show. I don't think it's a show. I think they fear. They're worried. True. The government, the military has better guns, bigger guns, but we're right here in their front yard. We're right here in it. Hypothetically speaking, in Minecraft, if the populist left and the populist right were to unite, or some sort of faction were to start happening, some crazy stuff were to start happening, and they get mobilized, get off the video games, get off the porn, get off the fentanyl, get off the heroin, get off the drugs, get off the stuff that's going to keep you sedated, pretty much. Opium for the masses is everywhere, being dispensed everywhere to keep us down, keep us distracted. If we're all able to set that aside and go, you know what? Let's fuck this. Let's do a massive reset. How would they stop it? Oh, they could try, and it would be blood in the streets. But that's all a bunch of big talk. As far as I'm concerned, Boogaloo Boys, fucking joke. Antifa, fucking joke. No one has the balls. No one has the cojones. The cojones? Huevos? The stones? No one has it. Because we're all a bunch of fucking pussies. So why should the government fear us? Why should the U.S. government fear us, even with the guns? Maybe you know what? I'm actually convincing myself. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe the National Guard at Congress isn't. Maybe it's not them showing their fear. Maybe it is just a show of force and just all a big LARP. You just noted the fisheye lens and having acid flashbacks. Fisheye lens. Oh, you talk about with this camera here. This camera that I'm using does have a weird lens to it. I was not expecting that. It captures everything in a weird way. Yeah, it has to be cropped because it gets everything. I don't know. Well, what does HR 127 do? Well, if you're a gun owner, it's going to fuck you up. It's required that you put yourself on a registry. If you own guns, you're going to be on a list. Now, do you trust governments and lists? If you say yes, you are an idiot. If you say yes to trusting government with lists, you are an absolute idiot. And you don't understand what happens with lists. Governments love to use lists. They love to use them. They have a list. They made a list. What do they do with it? You bet your ass. They'll be counting that twice, like Santa Claus going down looking for all the guns they need to take away from you. That's exactly what they will do with that stuff. That's what they can do with that stuff. Be like, oh, there'll be blood in the streets when that happens. You're right. There will be blood in the streets when that happens. But guess what? They'll be taken down, and the news will say they're white nationalists or some other bullshit. And that's real talk. That is the reality of our situation here. That's what's going on. And you don't believe me? Look what's happening now with Black on Asian violence. Black on Asian violence is escalating and very high. And guess what's happening? It's being blamed on white nationalists. This is real. You get some black thug beating the shit out of some Asian guy to death. It is blamed on white nationalists. What? The attacker wasn't even fucking white. Oh, but the system is. Oh, but because it's Trump or whatever. Oh, okay. All right, you just blame all your problems on Whitey. You just blame all your problems on Trump even when he's gone. You just blame all your problems. Never mind the fact that black and Asian violence has been something going around since Obama, since, you know, Bush, Obama, and all that stuff. But going back to the guns thing. Yeah, when they go around and actually act on the list, which you bet your ass are going to do. If I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong on that. And I'll eat fucking crow. I'll eat crow shit off the fucking ground if I'm wrong with that stuff. But I guarantee you, when they start making lists, they're going to start using that list. Be like, who can we target? Because they're already doing that shit, in a way, with red flag laws, which are bullshit. I understand the concern of safety with red flag laws. It's like, oh, this person might be crazy. Let's have the police take their guns and put them through a psych eval and question them and maybe give them their guns back. And it doesn't take much. With red flag laws, all you have to do is accuse someone of being mentally unstable. That's it. That's it. And then someone who works in a job where accusations come all the time. Let me tell you something. It doesn't take much of anything to make an accusation. You'd require no evidence, no proof at all to make an accusation. It's just forming of words and an idea. You put it out there, boom. And the people that are supposed to investigate it always have to investigate it, because if they don't, and it turns out something is crazy, well, then that's on them. So you could really just ruin someone's life by calling, let's say, CPS or the police or whatever, and just make up some bull crap about somebody, make it convincing, and boom, you're fucking with their life. You think that's not happening with red flag laws and taking people's guns? Are you fucking serious? I know you guys are smart. You guys know it's happening. You guys know it's definitely happening. I can tell you from experience that people will involve people's kids and families, try to get them taken away over petty fucking shit. Over disagreements they have. Petty fucking disagreements. I can also tell you from personal experience that people will fuck with each other, with their families, with their kids, trying to get them taken away by the state over podcast beefs, over internet YouTube beefs. I've seen that shit. And I know you probably did more reading on this, but the red flag laws, there are situations where it could be someone's ex calling in and saying, oh yeah, this guy is unstable. I know, because I used to be in a relationship with him. He doesn't even have rights to his kids, blah, 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 this stuff. He's completely unhinged, and he has a bunch of ARs, and he says he wants to overthrow the government. All right, man, we'll be checking out the house. Imagine the sort of force the police will show up with on that sort of call. And what if it was all fake? That woman that called in, turns out she doesn't have custody to her kids because she's the crazy loony fucking one. Maybe neither one of them have custody to the kids because they're all fucking meth heads and loony and fucking toony. You cannot just take people at their word anymore on these sort of things. People lie all sorts most of the time. People lie a lot. People lie a lot. And I say that from experience, from my line of work, and I do, like, you know, CPS work. Let me tell you something. Most of the cases I've worked, BS are absolute bullshit. What does that have to do with red flag laws? Well, if I just sort of, I wonder. There's stories of people calling in on them for over nonsense and bullshit. I wonder how often that happens. Let's look at that data. Right now it's anecdotal. Right now it's a gut feeling. Oh, I bet it happens quite a bit. And I'm pretty sure we start looking at that data. We were actually able to look at that. You would find, oh yeah, it happens. Let's see. Mom's Ravioli says the U.S.'s Liberty stream you had would be enough to label you a crazy nut, right? That would be enough. But that's right, though. Israel knew that USS Liberty was a U.S. ship. There's no way they didn't know. They had had spy planes fly around several times, and then they attacked anyway. They knew. It's all one big cover. all one big op. But yeah. So HR 127. You Biden lovers that have guns. Fuck you guys. Because now that gun's gonna be on the list. Thank you. Oh, but we had to get rid of Trump because Trump says mean things. He says mean things about Mexican people being rapists and stuff. They come over illegally because, you know, they can't be vetted through the legal system because, you know, they probably have some issues. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you have a gun and you voted for Biden, just sell your gun away. Like, you do not deserve it. And that's a little too far for me. You know, as an American, you do have the right to have it. It's just you don't know. You don't know. You know, the purpose of the Second Amendment, the purpose of the Constitution was to protect us, or to protect the people from government overreach, from the government from becoming tyrannical, which it is. It already is. It's been that. The purpose of it is so that we, the people, can hold the government in check when that time comes. That time has passed. It's a long time past. So that's it. So people say that it's not very American to riot or have violent protests. That's actually false. That actually is American. Using your First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, what do you think that leads to? What do you think that leads to when it's time to put the government in check? What do you think that leads to? Don't burn it all down, but just a reality check. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, they're going to have a database of all the guns. They're going to have a gun license. The Attorney General will issue a gun owner license to possess guns and ammo. You need a license to have a gun now with this HR 127. A lot of people are ignorant on guns. Though some people actually already think you need a license to have a gun because they don't know the process. They don't know how to even buy a gun or what do you have to go through. No, you don't need a license. There's just a background check. All right. But now they're going to require you to have a license. That is the government infringing on your right to bear arms. But people on this side will be like, no, you can still bear arms. You just have to get a license. You just have to be approved. Okay, you just have to be approved. Okay, that's weird. So if you're not approved by the government, then they can infringe? Where in the Second Amendment does it say the government has the ability to vet you for the right to bear arms? It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says, shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. To get this license, you need a criminal background check. Okay, that's fine. No, it's not fine. I don't like this gun license thing either. But criminal background checks are going to have when you buy a weapon, when you buy a gun. A psychological eval. Now, I don't know if you guys ever had psychological evals. They're actually pretty easy to fail. If you're someone who is, well, if you're the sort of person that would punch someone back and when they punch you, if you're someone who would try to defend yourself using force, whatever, and you see the world through that lens, you might fail. You could fail the psychological. Okay? Very easy to fail the psychological evaluation. And a complete training course that is at least 24 hours long and be insured. You have to be insured. Okay. Now they want insurance. They want, okay. This whole thing, there's taxes too. There's taxes as well. Oh, and military-style weapons. The bill goes further in depth of the guns that will be military-style. So none of them. When they say military-style, they're talking about AR-15s, whatever. They call them assault rifles. That's not really what they are. You know, that's not what they are. Like, okay. Assault AR-15s are fine. They are fine to have. Oh, you don't need that for self-defense. Newsflash. The Second Amendment wasn't about self-defense. The Second Amendment was about something else. I think you can figure out what that is. I think you can figure out what that is. But, you know, ride with Biden is the future. Will this bill get passed? We will see. I hope not. I hope not. The Democrats have everything. They could easily pass it. But if there's some Democrats that will not just vote on party line and actually stand for the Constitution, Jesus Christ, it's like I'm pleading at this point. I'm on my knees begging. Come on, have some common sense. Think about what's going on here. Think about what you're doing. No, we will take it. And then when they do that, if they go to court to try to challenge it, what happens then? Will the court side with them? Probably. What will probably end up happening is we're going to see, too, watch the Democrats pack the court. Add more justices. You know, do some stupid stuff like that. It's crazy, man. We are in an interesting time. You know what else is interesting about this that I really do enjoy with cynicism? And I mean that. You know, the riots in Portland and Seattle have not stopped since Biden was elected. And the media does not cover that. You know why? Because they have banners and they're chanting. They're making it loud and known that they don't like Biden. Antifa did not like Biden from the beginning. They didn't like Trump. They don't like Biden. They want to burn it all down. They want to burn the whole system down. Black Lives Matter realized that they've been played too, by the way. If you've been on their Twitter, they've been used by Biden. So it was only a matter of time before they start coming out on the street being like, wait a second, we were fucking used. You guys used us. They did. You're useful idiots. You're a tool. You're used by the establishment, by the corporate Democrats. They don't need you anymore. They're not going to cover your stuff anymore. And if you try to, once you realize that and you stop writing about Biden in Seattle and Portland and go, wait a second, let's take our grievances to where they're really at. Well, then you'll be shot. You watch. I'm waiting for that, though. I'm waiting for that moment to happen. People will be like, oh, that sounds wrong. Why would you wait that? Why would you want that to happen? It's not that I want that to happen. It's just that I know that's going to happen. It's inevitable. You have a bunch of people that are pissed off. They've been pissed off all summer, last summer. They're still pissed off. It's only a matter of time before they finally direct their grievances in a certain direction. But we got to talk about this Black on Asian violence here. Oh, sorry. It's called white nationalist violence. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I read it right here. They're blaming it on white nationalists. They're blaming this here. Bring it up here. They are blaming Li Fang. Not Li Fang. Okay. There's a march against white nationalism today in New York City for the recent violence against Asians. And this is the social image promoting it. Is there a shred of evidence that 84-year-old Rika Ratanapakdi was killed by white nationalism? There's not a shred of evidence. I'll tell you that right now. This guy right here, this guy, he was killed by an Antone, what's his name? Antone, dang his last name. A black dude, black teenager, black teen. Killed by a black teen, okay? And what happens afterwards? Oh, all right, we're going to do a march for his death, justice for Vika, and blame it on white nationalism. What? How does that make any sense at all? You have to be super big-brained, do all sorts of mental gymnastics to get to that sort of conclusion. Oh, you know why the black teenager killed Vika? It's because of white nationalism. That's why. And I bet you that's their argument there. I bet you. Let me click on this. I haven't even read this news story, but I bet you that's going to be their freaking argument. They're going to blame it on Trump's America. That's what they're going to do. You watch. You see, he's not even white. Oh my God. And Anton Watson. Is this the kid? Is this the person that beat him with a bat over and over again? That can't be. This website's horrible, by the way. This banner's like, all these banners are annoying. I need to fix this. The teenager arrested for the death of 84-year-old man who was knocked to the ground while in the morning walk in the Anza Vista neighborhood pleaded not guilty Wednesday to murder and elder abuse charges. Anton Watson, 19-year-old resident of Daly City, made his first court appearance. Okay. The police say his attack was unprovoked. He just attacked him. Is this the same guy? The guy with the baseball bat? The guy with the bat that beat the dude in the wheelchair? Is this him? Dude, if that's the same guy, you cannot blame that on white nationalism. There's no freaking way. Asians are not going to get behind that. They're not going to get behind that. I bet you it's BLM just trying to push that stuff there to protect their own. But no, they forget that Asians are pretty smart on average, and they aren't going to play that game. They're not playing that game. Look up rooftop Koreans, okay? Look up rooftop Koreans, and who were they shooting at? They weren't shooting at white people, okay? They weren't shooting at white people. They were looting their stores. Nope. Black on Asian violence has been something that's been going around for a long time. I watched ABL stream last night. I learned more about it there. I was reminded about things I had completely forgotten about. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. ABL's Anthony Brian Logan, is that his name? Yeah, pretty good streamer. I like his content. Let's see. Authorities said Watson rushed across the street and pushed him down to the ground. There's causing him to hit his head on the pavement and slide into a garage door. What? He just pushed him down. What an asshole. There's an article I saw not too long ago, I think last week, about how there was concern about the rise of Asian violence in Oakland, but they don't want the police. It was written as if they don't want the police to really get into it because it might distract from, it might support white nationalism or whatever, because really the people who are perpetrating the violence, well, I mean, do you need me to say it? Look, right now, of course, in these cities, certain cities, violence is surging, right? Because the police presence, if they don't even have a police presence, they're demoralized. They're not going to do anything, especially if it's black people. They're not going to do anything, really. A hands-off approach because we're afraid to do anything about it. But that's only a matter of time. Because the Asian community is very vocal, and they are not going to take this sitting down. They are going to react back. Watson was arrested Saturday night when the police executed a search warrant on Lisbon Street. Based on what we saw, an open hand push. We will certainly be challenging whether he was intent to kill. Okay. But somehow they're trying to frame this as white nationalism. How is that supposed to happen? Let me just do Control F and search for Trump. Does Trump come up in this article one time? No. Does white nationalism come up in this article one time? No. Not all. Does racism come up in this article one time? No. So how in the world do they frame this They frame this as some sort of white nationalist thing. In the violence towards Asians, let's unite against white nationalism. All this is gaslighting. That's all this is. A massive dose of gaslighting and bullshit. And let's see what happens. This is supposed to this February 20th. So this already happened. This happened yesterday. I wonder if there's video footage of that march, of what happened. Was there a march? Was there much of a march, or did it dissolve into nothingness? Because how could people march behind something that blatantly empty, all that stuff? And who was marching? Were there a bunch of Asian people, or was it a bunch of black people marching for that? Like, what's going on there? I'm curious about that. I'm very curious about that. Like, you have people saying white nationalism is repugnant, but this isn't directly culpable in the above murder. Yep. Yeah, people waking up that this is gaslighting. They see it. They see right through it. Rohan Zhu Lee, one of the organizers of the rally, who is of black and Asian descent. Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Look at this tweet. Here's the logic behind linking this to white nationalism. They claim the system manipulates Asian and black communities to the point of violence. See, told you. Basically trying to absolve actual murderer, but blame it on society. It's not my fault that I'm murdering Asians. Or I guess actually they're trying to say it is my fault. I'm so sorry, Asian community and black community. I need to apologize because I exist, because I'm white. You guys are murdering each other. Actually, not each other. You have black people beating y'all up. And you guys are like, do we need to go back on the rooftops again? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. I can't tell you that. That's up to you. Okay? But I'm sorry. I exist. You know, they want white people to not exist, I think. Because we're just so horrible. We're so horrible. How about white people just all commit kumite and they take everything that they designed, invented, and all that with them, and we'll see what is left. The automobile, take that. Take all that. But I don't want it to be a pissy match like that. I just say comments like that because it gives perspective. I'm a lover, guys. I want us all to get along. That's the reality of it. That's the real thing. And I want the truth to go out there. Like, when people put out this sort of misleading information, flat out lies like this, it does no injustice. It's just a giant facade. It's just a bunch of gaslighting. It is no justice because it's not talking about the actual problem. Let's talk about the actual problem. What's up with the black on Asian violence? What's going on there? Let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about why it's so difficult to police those communities. I mean, you could talk about the historical events that made it hard for, or like sort of, I guess, describe or explain how it got there. But let's talk about the present and what we can do to resolve it, you know, or to make it better. Maybe hold people accountable for the crimes they commit. That's a start. Offering job opportunities, more job opportunities. That's a start. But some of these things, some of these people don't want to work. Some of these people don't want to work, and that's not even racist to say. I mean, there was a news article yesterday I saw where black ex-convicts were asking, well, actually, I mean, well, I guess they escaped from, they were released from jail due to COVID. They were asking to be paid. They want to be paid to not murder. And that's something that happens. Did you know this? Did you know that your city, depending on where you live, may have had this policy, may be trying to use this policy to actually pay people to not murder? That is crazy to me. But anyway, let me read this paragraph here. Diary of a Firebird. Emergency rally for Asian Americans this Saturday at 2 p.m. at WSQ. Saturday, we rally for Vika Ratanan or whatever, an 84-year-old Thai man who was shoved to the ground and tragically died from his injuries. March for his justice, but not in a system rooted in anti-blackness. Not in a system that has used the media to manipulate black and Asian communities to the point of violence, then stood back and did nothing as we lit our communities on fire. Look at that. Not in a system that has used the media to manipulate black and Asian communities to the point of violence and stood back and did nothing as we lit the communities on fire. Who lit the communities on fire? I didn't see the Asian community lighting their communities on fire. I didn't see them doing that. What are you talking about? And you're right, the media did stood back when you guys are lighting your stuff and businesses on fire. Because they're not going to stop you. Who's going to stop you? If police try to stop you, then more people riot because they use, oh my God, they use like, I don't know, paintballs or glass balls and gas, whatever, to stop you guys because your guys are rioting and looting and destroying your own city. You guys need to be stopped. Stop doing that. Well, no, they'll just let you do it. And as you do it, they applaud and they pretend like everything's peaceful, mostly peaceful protests while everything's burning in the background. You know, that's what they do. That's what they do. You know, this is so insane to me. This seems like an Onion article. See, I march for his justice, but not in a system rooted in anti-blackness. I don't see the anti-blackness. I see the pro-blackness. And, you know, I see so much pro-blackness. And it's like, are you looting a store? Are you black? Okay, you get a pass. Are you looting a store? Are you white? You're going to jail. Are you looting a store? Are you Hispanic? You're going to jail. Are you Asian? Okay, you probably own the store. That's what I see. That's what I see. But not in a system that was used for, that has used the media to manipulate black and Asian communities to the point of violence. Remind me again how the riots riots in California, how they kicked off. The rooftop Koreans. By the 1960s, right? Los Angeles. That started because a Korean dude, a store owner, I believe he shot and killed a black kid that was stealing some candy, you know. I don't know what they stole. But that started a massive riot. That started a massive freaking riot, man. Oh, it was the 80s? It was the 80s? Oh, it was the 60s? It was 90s? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it now too. That's right. 1992 Los Angeles riots. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, guys, it was the system. It was whiteness that was the fault for creating that riot. It was the system. If white people didn't make the laws that you can't steal, then that wouldn't have happened. You know, the Korean store owner would have just let the black kid steal the candy. Bull crap. Bull crap. Come on. And there can't be that many black people that actually buy this stuff. Come on. Black people know that Asians can be pretty racist, especially towards blacks. Come on, dude. Have you been to a convenience store in one of these neighborhoods? And the more questionable parts of town? Yeah, they have guns behind the counter, man. They're ready to use it. They're ready to use that shit. We cannot make the mistake again, especially when we are much closer to toppling white supremacy. Are they now? They are using two sets of trauma to fuel anger. We want restorative justice rooted in compassion. Oh, okay. Well, how about they hold their own accountable, huh? They should be, if they really want justice for Rika, then they should, what they should do is be advocating for, I don't know, programs or rethinking their approach towards violence. Why are these teenagers committing all these acts of violence? Why are they doing it? You know, what's going on? Can we build programs? You know, all the money that BLM raised, have they put any money into the black community to build programs that could actually help and better? I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I would be surprised if they did at all, because it's like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing to help? You raise awareness, you burn things down, you burn your own community down, but what are you doing to build back up, to build better? What are you doing, huh? I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. Do y'all see it? No. Black Lives Matter wants to say they think they were used by Biden. I wonder how black people sound, what they say in the communities that are not police, that are rampaged by violence. Oh, I know what they say, because I watch other streams, I watch other content. I don't just stay in my own white circle, whatever. I don't even do that. I'll watch all sorts of other content guys. You know, I'm very aware, pretty aware what goes down there. And I have people call in on the show that they go out there and they talk to them. Yeah, they're not too happy about this. In a way, they think BLM used them. Oh man, it's so messed up. It is so freaking messed up. But yeah, that's the thing, guys. A black man kills an Asian dude and is blamed on white nationalism. Okay, that's the world we live in. That's the reality. That's why I said going with the gun stuff, when it comes down time to take your guns away, and you say, yeah, well, not without blood, go right ahead. And I'll definitely be on your support with that. If that were to happen, I'll be like, you know what? They got the story wrong. He was trying to defend his right to hell out of a gun. And, you know, the officer, he told the officer to back off. And the officer wanted to violate the Constitution. He got what he deserved. And I mean that. You want to break an oath? All right. See how far it goes. But just keep knowing, in that event, after that goes down, the media is going to cover something like that and call it white nationalism, or call it, oh my God, it's a Trump supporter, it's a terrorist or something, some stupid shit. We live in a fucking crazy reality, man. It doesn't even make sense anymore, right? It doesn't even make sense. What's going on? It's all Looney Tunes out there. You got people saying there's 27,000 fucking genders. There's as many genders as you could think of. Doesn't make sense. You have people who say that age is a construct. You could be a 35-year-old man and identify as a 6-year-old little girl, wear diapers, and say mommy, daddy, and have some fucking issues like that. And yet society is supposed to applaud that and entertain that and support that. Be helpful, be positive. No, we have too much positivity. We need a reality check here. And people who vote for Biden buy guns, buy ammo, and at the same time support HR 127, where it's going to take your gun is going to be on the list. And you know the government's going to be coming in and take that gun. It's only a matter of time. Restricting ammo. Restricting the capacity. Infringing on the rights to bear arms. Infringing on your constitutional right to bear arms. And yet, the people who support that, they bought a gun. Last summer, a lot of liberals bought guns because they were worried about property. And they think they don't need an AR-15? Motherfucker, when the rioters come for you, you're going to need more than one shot. You're going to need something that sets the stage. You might need 2 AR-15s. You might need a couple submachine guns. You might need to go akimbo on their ass. In reality, you just need a shotgun. Shoot one, they all run. Shoot one, they are run, and depending where you live, the government's going to come in and take your guns away, and then they come back for round 2. The McClowskis. Whatever happened to them? Have you ever heard about them in the news lately? So, is everything... If I haven't heard about them in the news, it makes me wonder if things went their way, and it's just not good for the media to cover it. You can't trust the plan. There is no freaking plan. That's the other thing. Looney Tunes. You had some Trump supporters that really took the Q&A stuff way too far. Trust the plan. That stuff was poison. That stuff... Oh my God. That stuff was no good. That stuff was no good. That is no good at all. But it's Looney Tunes, man. Crazy town. Crazy world. You have Cuomo, who put old people who had COVID into old folks' home, killing them, murdering them, essentially, knowing that... Look, he knew the old people had COVID, put them back in the old folks' home when he could have put them on the military hospital ship that was there. It had plenty of beds open, had the support there. Didn't want to use that stuff. What you do instead is put the sick back in with a vulnerable population, let them get sick too and die to improve the numbers to then blame it on Trump. You have that stuff happening. That's just insane. And then when we talk about Ted Cruz, yeah, I talked about Ted Cruz. I talked about him. I thought what he did was snaky and slimy. Is it compared to what Cuomo did? Absolutely not. Cuomo actually killed people. And I could say that. His actions, his direct actions led to deaths. Cuomo is a murderer. Ted Cruz is just a snake. I don't Lion Ted. Crazy town. Crazy world, man. Let's see. What else was on the list to talk about here? Like I said, I make a list. I have to go through and make sure to cover everything. Oh, I think we hit everything. Oh, no. Whiteness scale. New York City whiteness scale. All right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the whiteness scale. You want to do that? Let's do that. This is kind of old news, but it's something. It's something to get into. I like this article too with the New York Post. Have a look through it. You know what? I'm not gonna read it all because you probably have already seen that before. But oh, and this chick is so stupid right here. This chick with the purple hair. She wasn't the first one to put Gorilla Glue in her hair. No, she, whatever that is, copied, follows suit to get that publicity. That's so dumb, so dumb. Anyway, so you probably heard about this. A New York City school put out this stuff asking parents to reflect on their whiteness. That's right. A New York City school was asking parents of the children that go to that school to reflect on their whiteness. That's insane, right? That's crazy. Like, why would you do that? And let's look at the breakdown. I think they break down the demographics of that area. Let's see. Okay. The racial makeup of the student body at East Side community was 55% Hispanic, 18% white. So look at that. The parents that are receiving this stuff are most likely going to be, most of them are Hispanic, some of them are white, and some are black, and some are Asian, or whatever. So most of the people that are receiving this, you need to reflect on your whiteness, are Hispanic. What the fuck, man? Ooh. So at this school, white people are not even that present. If the school only had 18% of a white student body, most of them were Hispanic, and you have 50% black, that's a pretty good ratio there. They have a pretty good mix, pretty good pool there, right? Definitely no white supremacy there. What white problem could they have there? But they decided it was a good idea, a great idea, to put out, to give to the parents, oh, you need to reflect on your whiteness. Hey, Hispanic people, you need to reflect on your whiteness. You look white to us. I said before, that's coming, man. That's coming. Fair skin, Latinos, your day is coming. I've seen it before, like the last summer, during the riots. They were looking at y'all too. They just did not come out and say it. Okay, at least not that I heard anyway. Not that I caught. So yeah, they decided it was a good idea to put this out, and this is insane. 8 white identities. You got white supremacy. I guess it's red. That's bad. White supremacy is bad, and white voyeurism. I don't know. White voyeurism, is that like peeping toms, like a white guy like looking through the window of a black family to see, you know, like, is that happening? Does that happen? White privilege. I thought we all have white privilege. I thought all white people have white privilege. So is white privilege an identity, or is this something that, like, I don't understand? White benefit. Okay. White confessional. This really is a religion, huh? White confessional? What the hell is this stuff, man? White critical. All right. White traitor. Oh, great. And white abolitionist. And they break it down here. Let's see, I'm going to zoom in on this one. I can barely read that. Oh my God. Man, that's like fine print there. White supremacy. So if you identify in white supremacy, if that's your area, clearly marked white society that preserves names and values white superiority. Okay. Well, if I was to take this, that's not me. You know, I like all races. I'm good. I'm good, bro. Like I said, I'm a lover. I know some of you guys may have different opinions. I said it before. You have different opinions. That's fine. Opinions are that. Everybody has opinions. Everybody has thoughts and beliefs. You know, they are what they are. Let's see. White voyeurism wouldn't challenge a white supremacist. Desires non-whiteness because it's desires. Wait. Okay. Wouldn't challenge a white supremacist. Okay. Sorry. It's really fine print. Wouldn't challenge a white supremacist, comma, desires non-whiteness because it's interesting, comma, pleasurable, seeks to control the consumption and appropriation of non-whiteness, fascination with culture, consuming black culture without the burden of blackness. Without the burden of blackness? What do you mean? Like get to listen to like Tupac while you're driving through the ghetto? I don't understand what that means there. Okay, what is that? I wouldn't be there either. White privilege may critique supremacy, but a deep investment is in questions of fairness, equality under the normalization of whiteness. I guess that would be me. I have no idea. Probably white benefit. According to the scale here, white benefit, sympathetic to a set of issues, but only privately, won't speak, act in solidarity publicly because benefiting through whiteness in public. Okay, white confessional. Some exposure of whiteness takes place, but as a way of being accountable to POCs after seeking validation from POCs. Okay, so white confessional, they're looking for validation of POCs. So that would be your white liberal on Twitter, right? Who will say things about what we have to do. A white person on Twitter who's virtual signaling for POC, but isn't POC, probably doesn't have a POC friend, probably feels weird talking to him because, like, I don't know, they might be racist, there's that. White critical, take on broad criticisms or critiques of whiteness and invest in exposing, marking the white regime, refuses to be complicit with the regime. I don't even know what that means. What is the white regime and how do you not be complicit in it? None of this makes any sense, man. White traitor, because what does it mean to be white? Or it'd be like, and you see articles that cover that. Oh, to be white means you have to be confident. If you're confident in yourself, that's a white thing. And we'll get into what I mean by that. We'll go overtime and we'll cover a little bit of the Coca-Cola stuff. It's not really Coca-Cola themselves. They use the training stuff. It's really that critical race theory bullshit by Robin DiAngelo. Horrible person. White traitor actively refuses, complicitly names what's going on. Intention is to subvert white authority and tell the truth at whatever cost. I know, if they were telling the truth, they would say this is racist itself. This is bullshit. Like, this makes no sense. A white abolitionist changing institutions, dismantling whiteness, and not allowing whiteness to reassert itself. So, pretty much, this is white things, things created by white people need to be taken down, dismantled, and destroyed. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Anything that was invented by white people should be destroyed, dismantled. Like I said, cars, guns, taming dogs. Just let dogs go wild. You can't own dogs. Construction. So homes. No, don't live in homes. Anything that was invented or designed by a white man definitely could be problematic. So Renaissance art. I'm thinking Renaissance art. That all needs to be burned. Churches would have to be destroyed. Jesus would have to be destroyed. Well, Jesus isn't white, but whiteness is taken over. They would probably say. What else? Condoms. You'd have to get rid of condoms. You have to get rid of birth control. Probably would have to get rid of abortion. I don't know. It's like anything. You have to get rid of whiskey. You have to get rid of scotch. You'd have to get rid of all sorts of stuff. I said the abortion thing after the birth control because it would be interesting. I want to see the future. Or they get rid of birth control and contraceptives because it was invented by white people or whiteness. So was abortion law, that sort of stuff. People behind that were white, right? Sounds like we're gonna go back. Sounds like we're gonna turn America into Africa. I'm just saying. I don't want to do that. I don't think it's a good idea to start dismantling things based on race. It would be really wrong for me or any person really to say, you know what, blackness, we need to dismantle that and destroy anything that's black because of whatever. That's horrible. That's oppressive. That's racist. But it's not horrible for them to say we need to dismantle and destroy everything that's white. The U.S. government, destroy that because it's created by white people. Communism, destroy that. It was created by a white person. Was Karl Marx white? Was he Jewish? I don't know. Even if it was, I covered it not too long ago, another live stream. According to some POC, Jews are white too. I mean, it comes down to, do you look white? You're white. So some of these people who push this racist stuff, like this whiteness identity thing, they're going based on skin tone. They're going based on skin tone. Say communism was not invented by white people? Who invented it? You say, what? Because if they look white, they're going to be considered white. Based on this logic, based on this stuff, that's what it's going to be. I mean, we'd be splitting hairs, and you'd be right in some parts. It'd be like saying, well, you know, really Irish and Italians, they aren't really white. Okay. You know, the Poles, they aren't really white. It's like, okay. But you really think with a race critical theory that really matters? It's so surface level. It's stupid. It's like, what color do you look? Okay, that's what you are. Marx literally came from rabbis, and Jews are white. According to some POC, the POC that would push this nonsense, Jews are white. I covered it in a stream not too long ago where they were trying to push race critical theory in high school, in one particular school, and about oppressors and oppressed. And guess who was in the oppressor category? Jews. And this is pushed by the same people. Of course, they had to eat crow a little bit. They had to change that a little bit, but it still was the same. Especially, all you have to do is go on Black Twitter and ask who owned the slave boats. That still happens. You still see that stuff. Of course, you know, in Black Twitter, hang out a little bit. It doesn't take long. You see like anti-Semitic stuff, pretty open, pretty blatant, and they get away with that stuff. They don't care. They're not going to give two shits that Marx was Jewish. It's like, okay, well, guess what? Now it's a black thing. Besides, the real Hebrews are black. So look at that. Look at that. We want to talk facts and logic in a world where facts and logic is like, doesn't make any sense anymore. It's clown world. Oh, man. Going back to this article, though. One thing I noticed is that the parents weren't questioned. They weren't asked for statements or anything like that. When you have as a school board being questioned and teachers being questioned, you have people on Twitter speak it out and say, if you find this hostile and unnerving, it's because you're fearing the loss of power and advantage that your skin color has afforded you. It's an agenda to bring true equality. A Twitter user fired over rough over his chart. But another writer said, this is what a public school spends their time and money on? Anti-racism? Like, this is a poison. And it is. It is. And they don't even have a lot of white kids at that school. Like I said, most of the population there is Hispanic. Man, that's probably why they didn't ask his parents what he thought about this. Oh my God. Can you imagine a Latino family seeing something like that? Be like, what? Anyway. So what are you guys going to do, huh? What are you guys doing later on today? What's your Sunday going to be? Apparently, you guys didn't go to church because you're here. That's okay. Here's our communion. All right. Beer in the morning. Like I said, if you're looking up to YouTubers for moral advice or how to live your life, wrong thing. The worst thing I do now is maybe have beers in the morning sometimes. But I have a job. Hey, I work. Liquid bread in the morning. That's what it is. Churches are closed in the UK. That's because UK hates God. UK is, everything's locked down. Man. You guys can't even do anything, huh? Fear of COVID. Fear of COVID. Then I wanted to. Part of me was like, there's this whole COVID pandemic thing. You know, when it was in China and it's breaking out in China, you saw people dropping on the floor. You saw hospitals overridden, body bags, and it did look crazy over there. They were building that leaking hospital, and like within a couple days and a week, it was really just a bunch of cells stacked, a bunch of box cars, train cars stacked on top of each other. It's horrible. So when it came stateside, I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to this with some cynicism, a lot of cynicism. I didn't see that though. You didn't see people drop left and right in hospitals. It was a different sort of thing. What you saw was governors put in sick patients, COVID patients, back in old folks' home, so they all die. My wife had COVID. She beat it. I know some people didn't. You know, that is sad. That is sad. If you had someone who died due to COVID, that is sad. If you had someone die of something else and they said it was COVID, that's even worse, I think, because then they're just kind of using your family member's death or a loved one's death as a political tool or something else. That's pretty sad too. You know, 5 people who died? Well, that's 5 shots of Kraken right there. I'll take 1 shot of Kraken because maybe there were some other factors with the other ones. I don't know. I would take 1 shot of Kraken. Oh, my wife, COVID survivor. She doesn't get reparations. She's not black. She's Hispanic. Hispanics will never get reparations because if the black community gets the reparations, Hispanics will be excluded from that because Hispanics have a history of slavery as well. The Spanish Empire had their hands in with the slave trade. So the moment, I mean, there's plenty of ammunition and history to use to spin and smear Latinos. The moment it becomes, necessary, I don't know. When the opportunity comes up, it's going to happen. You watch. The conquistadors. Oh, yeah, they're pretty horrible people, huh? They did some horrible things. Back then, the land of conquest and all the world of conquest. I mean, it was like ages of empires in real life. Age of empires in real life. Oh, yeah, they did all sorts of bad things. It was justified then. It was conquering land. Taking it. Taking the people. use them as slaves, all this stuff. That shit happened. Everyone was doing it. Africans were doing it too, to their own. They didn't get really far, though. They didn't really build all up. They didn't really make boats to go far. Kind of afraid of that. But the Spaniards, they weren't afraid of that. Let's go. Let's go conquer. Yeah, so I really don't see any reparations come from the Hispanic community. If anything, they're going to be asked to pay reparations. They'll be like, you know, it's not just the white people that were doing this. It's also, you know, they will turn. They will turn. You watch. It'll take a while because they're stronger when they're united. Like when that would happen, though, I'm not sure. Because right now, they can be united still, and they can continue to attack, you know, the white people. You know, it is what it is. Spanish were never quite on par with the Royal Navy, though. Oh, well. Well, that's true. That's true. They weren't. They weren't. As the mom's right, but the Spanish are white. The Hispanic term is mostly applied to mixed Spaniards. Right, but it's their history. You know, if white people are going to be held accountable to their European ancestors or their history, Hispanics will as well. Mexicans will as well. Shit, the stuff that Mexicans allow in their past is not good at all. But whatever, you know, it's it gets murky, doesn't it? They could easily spin it if they wanted to. But that may not happen. It'd be funny if it did. The first POC group would definitely be Asians. The first POC group to fall from the POC protection, the umbrella, whatever, would be Asians. You watch. And when this stuff, the increase of Asian violence, it's only a matter of time before it cracks. I mean, it's already happening now, right? I mean, Asians can be discriminated against in a way that black people can't be in universities. But even when that happens, though, I don't see the Asian group joining white people because that would be toxic for them, right? Because whitey's the devil. This shouldn't be a race war thing, a race conflict thing, but it makes it into that, right? It makes it into that. I hate talking about it. First off, the optics don't look good, and it shouldn't even be a thing. Really, what we should be talking about, if there's any issue, not to sound like a communist or socialist or whatever, but if there's any sort of thing we really should be talking about is like class issues instead of race. Race, you're not gonna solve racism. You're not gonna prevent racism. You're not gonna fix it. You're not going to exterminate racism from humanity. Unfortunately, we are wired in a way to see patterns and see patterns and associate correlations where they may not really be, but they're there. I mean, we see them. They make sense to us on the individual level and on the group level. And that's how we operate. What's harder to see, though, is class. It really shouldn't be that hard, though. Mom's ravioli says the only way is separation. I don't agree. I don't want to agree with that. Maybe things would be better if we were all separated. But no. I mean, we could exist together. We could. If it wasn't for the fact that we keep on bringing race stuff up. All the freaking time. Every time. Constantly bring it up. And you can't solve it. You can't do anything about it. You are the color that you are. You have the family that you have. You have the ancestors that you have. You can't change that. It makes no sense to make people atone for the sins of their ancestors. It makes no sense. You know? If we didn't constantly bring it up, if it wasn't constantly a thing of a divide and conflict, we could get along. But how do you get people to stop talking about it? How do you get people to stop talking about race? Yeah, that's never going to happen. It's never going to freaking happen. People blame each other for the injustices they face. You know, black people that are in poverty, they blame the Jews as much as white people do. Black in poverty may blame white people. They may blame Jews. They may blame the government, the systems, and all that stuff. The white people in poverty, they blame the system. They blame the president. They blame blacks. They blame the Jews, Hispanics in poverty. They blame others. Asians in poverty, they blame others. Everyone's blaming each other. Everyone's blaming each other. My energy, just time spent blaming each other. They actually went and looked for work or found a grift that they can use so that the family could benefit off of that. Go right ahead. You know, that would make them better. It would put them in a better spot. Then maybe they wouldn't be so poor. The nose wants to keep us divided. I need to see something about that, huh? They say don't talk about that. That's stereotyping. I don't know, man. Who wants us to stay divided? Well, the government definitely benefits when we're divided, because then we can't unite and be like, hey, wait a second, you don't represent us. You know what? We're just gonna all pay you a visit and tell you how much you suck with very mean, powerful words. And I mean more than that. You know what I mean? The government benefits. The people on top benefit. Oh, the rich elite? Oh, yeah, they benefit. And who are the rich elite? Who are the rich elite? Who owns most of the wealth? Why would they want us to fight them? Why would they want us to go after them? They want us to go after each other. So, you solve the question of Who is the rich elite? Who are the ones on top? You start getting your answer. And you start seeing it. My problem with, I'm trying to even the burn. My problem with, like the white nationalist people is that they start blaming everything on the JEW. Everything. Is everyone on top a Jew? Is everyone on top a Jew? The Asians on top? Would they rather you fight each other than you fight them? The rich white guys on top? Would they rather you fight each other than them? Does the rich white guy have your best interests at heart any more than the rich Jewish guy, I guess? If you want to put it that way. The rich Asians and the rich white guys and the rich Jews that want to cabal together and be like, we want to protect our wealth. We want them to, let's put out some race. Let's make them fight each other on race and all this stuff. Really, honestly, they don't really have to put stuff out there. Because we'll fight our own. We'll fight our neighbors, fight our brothers and sisters, even without their help. The people that don't have anything, they look around the closest to them and they see someone that has a little bit more than them. They look at them with envy, with anger, with hatred. In the future of this channel, I don't know if I can continue to talk about stuff like this, but we're at the end, tail end of the stream. No one makes it this far. No one makes it this far. Unless you're just listening to this as background noise while playing some game or whatever. That's it. I have a BitChute. I thought about creating some other accounts in other places, but at the same time, the stuff I talk about isn't all that too crazy. I kind of go into it every now and then, But I'm not like a salty cracker or whatever his name is. I don't go into it as heavy as he does. I'm not a kill stream. I don't go into heavy as I wouldn't host a Holocaust debate while running a charity at the same time. I might drink beer in the morning, but I'm not that fucking stupid. So I think I'll be fine here on YouTube for a while. And I did purge the podcast stuff though, because it was costing me money. And this year, I just want to optimize any sort of money I get out of this as much as possible. So the podcast stuff, I cut that. Not gonna need that. It wasn't really getting that many views anyway. Many listens to really justify it. So as far as going on other platforms and growing there, this cigar, the name escapes me right now. It is Casablanca. I got it with a box of varied cigars, so it's average. It's an average cigar. It's not like if I were to, when I go buy more cigars, I'm not buying this. Okay, I'll get it in a mix and I'll smoke it if it's there, but it's not something I'll go buy. I bought a box of nubs the other day, and I do like them. Those are good. E.T. Templar says, I don't know, Devin, I thought the same one day I got a strike. Yeah, you did get a strike. I got a strike too before as well. In the past for sexually gratifying content. And that was before I did all the thumbnails that are about a bunch of hot chicks, whatever. I'm the sort of guy, if you're going to penalize me for something I didn't do, and I find it funny, I might just go ahead and do that thing, depending on what it is. If YouTube wants to, they demonetize me in the past for sexually gratifying content because of, like I said, sexually gratifying content. And I was like, well, I'm the bulk of the content here, and it's my voice, so am I the sexual thing? I started having fun with it. Hold on, let me take this call. All right. That was my wife getting some lunch. Taco Bell. Great. Great. So I'm going to be ingesting some soy. Oh, I was saying, oh yeah, this channel was demonetized in the past for sexually gratified content. So I was like, okay, then I will start reviewing some interesting things or doing some interesting things and make it that. And then I built later on and then it just got better. It just got better. Like, I mean, I think I waited the time and then I reapplied for monetization. I got it again. And, you know, now I do every now and then a baby metal video to get the ad revenue. And then, you know, talk about this stuff on the streams. I will enjoy my soy, damn it. My fake steak. Oh, man. I want to go to Taco Bell. When you go to Taco Bell, do you get the ground beef, the chicken, or the steak? What do you get? The steak is probably horse meat, huh? That Taco Bell steak has to be some of the lowest grade steak out there. Let me see. Taco Bell steak. It's probably cut with like wood chippings and shit. Taco Bell steak quality. Oh, there's a lawsuit. It says we use 100% USDA premium beef. 100% USDA premium beef. Sure you do. Sure you do. It's not illegal to lie. I mean, it's illegal to lie, but it's not illegal to lie. You know what I'm saying? If the truth is to lie, then that's fine. Let's see, the truth about Taco Bell seasoned beef. That might be its own stream. I'll save that for its own stream. Okay. I'm at the tail end. I'm going to wrap up. No one's going to make it this far. And that sounds perfect for a rant and chill. That would be safe for ads and safe for YouTube. It's probably human meat. I wouldn't put it past them. I would not. What if it's aborted fetuses? What if it's that? Would you eat at a Chinese restaurant that's next to a Planned Parenthood? I'd really question the sweet and sour pork. I'd really question that. Like, is this really pork or is this the long pork? What kind of pork is this? What's going on? I thought it was from human taco meat and Taco Bell. There's fetuses? Nuh-uh. Fetuses in a Chinese restaurant? I was gonna write that horror story. I was thinking of a horror story to write where like A Chinese restaurant gets supplies of human fetuses and puts it in their general cell, and people love it. They crave it. They can't get enough of it. Like, what is the secret recipe to this? You know, conservatives and liberals alike are like, what is the secret recipe behind this? And then it gets exposed. But the conservatives are like, hey, wait a second. We found leaked footage that they could be getting this from Planned Parenthood. Liberals are like, no way that's happening. That's it. There's not much of a story to write about. Cat and dog meat. Yeah, I've seen that. Man, I've seen footages of some place in Houston where they're just butchering a dog. Butchering a dog behind the restaurant. Butchering pigs and dogs behind the restaurant. They will... they will do that. Yeah, I like Chinese food too, pterodactyl. And I would still eat it. None of us human fetuses, but I would still eat it. If it was dog and I liked it, it's like, well, I guess I like dog now. I don't know. I don't know, man. Nah. Ethan Ralph is supplying the excess. That was the plan, but Faith kept it. Oh, it's actually Gunt. Shit. If you butcher a dog, you deserve the rope. I agree. If you butcher a dog, you deserve the rope. If you fuck a dog, you deserve the gas. All right, guys. I'll wrap up the stream for real now. Come on. I'm in overtime. No one's here. Who's all here? Like 5 people watching? 12. Thank you for watching Rant and Chill. I do these things on the weekdays and sometimes weeknights. I know it's a weekend now. Schedule was messed up because of, well, the Texas freeze. But I'm going to get back into it on Monday, tomorrow. I guarantee you I'm going to get some work, get some cases. I have to juggle some things. I'll probably be able to have a Rant and Chill tomorrow around noon. And then maybe do a horror movie review on Monday night, tomorrow night. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, that's about it, guys. You guys take it easy. I'm going to post more shorts on the channel and try to make it more related to Rant and Chill and see what you guys want to talk about in the future as well. Make Rant and Chill more, I said inclusive, more community involved in that way. Because I like you guys. Even you guys may not like me 100%. I like you guys. Now take it easy. Stay safe.